Dear learners, today we are going to discuss concept of hypothesis and its characteristics, formulation and types. Dear all, you are requested to watch the full video and note down the important points. The video is followed by MCQs based on the presentation, so please ensure you watch it completely. Let us first understand the concept of hypothesis. The hypothesis is a vital component of educational research, serving as a tentative explanation or prediction that guides the research process. The term hypothesis is derived from the Greek words hypo, under, and thesis, proposition, meaning a tentative statement that underlies a proposition. In educational research, a hypothesis is a tentative statement or educated guess about the relationship between variables. A proposition that can be tested to verify or falsify the relationship. A tool that provides direction to research by identifying what needs to be investigated. Dear students, from the slide, we can conclude that a hypothesis suggests a possible connection between two variables, like study hours and grades. Can be tested to determine whether it is true or false. Helps focus your research by identifying what needs to be investigated. It is essential because it keeps the research organized and on track. Now let us remember the main characteristics of a good hypothesis. 1. Clarity. A hypothesis should be clear, concise, and understandable. 2. Testability. It must be possible to verify or refute the hypothesis through empirical methods. 3. Specificity. The hypothesis should specify the variables and the relationship between them. 4. Relevance. It should align with the research objectives and questions. 5. Consistency. A hypothesis must be consistent with existing theories and knowledge. 6. Feasibility. Testing the hypothesis should be practical within the given time, resources, and research conditions. 7. Predictive value. A hypothesis should predict the outcomes based on the proposed relationships. Dear students, from the slide, we can conclude that a good hypothesis must be clear, easy to understand, testable, can be verified or refuted, specific, defines variables and relationships, relevant, aligns with research objectives, consistent, matches existing knowledge, feasible, practical to test, predictive, forecasts outcomes. These traits make a hypothesis effective for research. What is the formulation of hypothesis? The process of formulating a hypothesis involves the following steps. 1. Identifying the problem. Begin by understanding the research problem through observation, literature review, or theoretical frameworks. 2. Defining variables. Clearly define independent, dependent, and control variables in the research context. 3. Reviewing literature. Conduct a thorough review of previous studies to identify gaps and existing theories. 4. Constructing logical relationships. Establish logical connections between variables, drawing from theoretical or empirical evidence. 5. Framing the hypothesis. Formulate the hypothesis as a declarative or interrogative statement that predicts a relationship or outcome. 6. Ensuring testability. Confirm that the hypothesis can be tested through data collection and analysis. Now let us understand types of hypotheses. Hypotheses in educational research can be classified into several types based on their nature, formulation, and purpose. 1. Null hypothesis. A statement that there is no relationship or effect between variables. Example: there is no significant difference in academic performance between boys and girls. 2. Alternative hypothesis. H or H a statement that there is a relationship or effect between variables. Example: girls perform significantly better than boys in academic tests. 3. Directional hypothesis predicts the specific direction of the relationship. Example: Increased study time leads to higher academic performance. 4. Non-directional hypothesis predicts a relationship but does not specify the direction. Example, there is a relationship between study time and academic performance. 5. Descriptive hypothesis states the existence of a phenomenon or behavior. Example, most students prefer interactive learning methods over traditional lectures. 6. Associative hypothesis suggests a correlation between variables without assuming causation. Example, there is a correlation between teacher motivation and student performance. 7. Causal hypothesis proposes a cause and effect relationship between variables. Example, effective teacher feedback improves students' academic achievements. 8. Statistical hypothesis framed to be tested through statistical analysis. Example, the mean scores of two groups do not differ significantly. Importance of hypothesis in educational research. 1. Provides direction. The hypothesis serves as a roadmap, focusing the research on specific variables and relationships. 2. Facilitates testing. Hypotheses can be tested, verified, or rejected, contributing to scientific rigor. 3. Promotes objectivity. A well-formulated hypothesis minimizes researcher bias and emphasizes empirical evidence. 4. Generates knowledge. Testing hypotheses helps confirm or refute theories, advancing the field of education. Dear viewers, let's solve some important multiple-choice questions based on the presentation. 1. What is the etymological meaning of the term hypothesis? A. An untested theory. B. A tentative statement. C. A proposition underlying a premise. D. A testable explanation. Answer. C. A proposition underlying a premise. 2. Which of the following is a primary characteristic of a good hypothesis? A. It should be vague. B. It must be testable. C. It should be unverifiable. D. It must be complex. Answer. B. It must be testable. 3. A hypothesis that states there is no relationship between variables is called A. Directional hypothesis. B. Null hypothesis. C. Alternative hypothesis. D. Causal hypothesis. Answer. B. Null hypothesis. 4. Which type of hypothesis predicts a specific direction of the relationship? A. Non-directional hypothesis. B. Null hypothesis. C. Directional hypothesis. D. Associative hypothesis. Answer. C. Directional hypothesis. 5. In hypothesis formulation, the dependent variable is A. The variable that is manipulated. B. The variable that is measured. C. The control variable. D. Irrelevant to the study. Answer. B. The variable that is measured. 6. A descriptive hypothesis focuses on A. Predicting the future. B. Establishing causation. C. Describing a phenomenon or trend. D. Testing statistical models. Answer. C. Describing a phenomenon or trend. 7. The first step in formulating a hypothesis is A. Reviewing the literature. B. Testing variables. C. Drawing conclusions. D. Identifying the problem. Answer. D. Identifying the problem. 8. Which hypothesis type deals with if-then statements? A. Null hypothesis. B. Alternative hypothesis. C. Causal hypothesis. D. Statistical hypothesis. Answer. C. Causal hypothesis. 9. What does a null hypothesis imply? A. There is a significant relationship between variables. B. There is no significant relationship between variables. C. There is only a causal relationship. D. There is no scope for testing. Answer. B. There is no significant relationship between variables. 10. The hypothesis acts as a roadmap for A. Designing surveys. B. Conducting systematic research. C. Publishing results. D. Avoiding errors. Answer. B. Conducting systematic research. 11. Which of the following is not a characteristic of a good hypothesis? A. Clarity. B. Complexity. C. Specificity. D. Testability. Answer. B. Complexity. 12. In educational research, hypotheses are primarily used to A. Prove theories. B. Guide the research process. C. Test practical solutions. D. Avoid statistical errors. Answer. B. Guide the research process. 13. A non-directional hypothesis. A. Predicts the specific outcome. B. States the presence of a relationship without specifying the direction. C. Rejects the relationship between variables. D. Describes a causal effect. Answer. B. States the presence of a relationship without specifying the direction. 14. The feasibility of hypothesis testing is ensured by A. Aligning with abstract theories. B. Considering practical limitations. C. Ignoring existing literature. D. Using unmeasurable variables. Answer. B. Considering practical limitations. Thank you. Don't miss out. Subscribe now to my YouTube channel, Education and Teacher Education, for insightful content and valuable resources.